Let's see how much my opinion has changed. So we're gonna look at the biggest roster in Marvel vs. Capcom, which is in Marvel 2. And I'm gonna go down this list and gauge each character by my personal level of priority. And the priority goes from a 1, let's say a 0, all the way to a 5. 0 being I hope this character never shows up again in a Marvel vs. Capcom game. I hope it never shows up again. And 5 being like, I really adamantly want this character to show up. And my reasons for each one. Let's start from, I guess, the top left. Alicia. I'd say a 3. Alicia has already been in quite a few MVC games, including Ultimate. So she's had her pretty good chance. I think she's had a pretty good chance, and she's a cool, sexy character, and I'm thinking that might be a reason why she's not going to be in it. She's throwing too much of the hoots and the cooch, so probably not going to make it. Not good for ESPN. Original Mega Man. This is specific. Original Mega Man, not X. I'd give like a 4. I think that's pretty high. Because I think they can do a lot of cool stuff with original Mega Man and X. I think that'd be pretty dope. I'd love a classic Mega Man pack in sometime in Marvel 1. Just so we can potentially get Proto Man. God damn, that would be sick. Captain Commando, I give a 5. Represents classic Capcom. And is an awesome character. We've already established this off the previous videos. Captain Commando should absolutely be in Marvel vs. Capcom. He represents classic Capcom. His name is fucking Capcom. He should be in the game, in my opinion. Marrow, I'm gonna say like a 1. She's neat, but I really have no desire to see her come back in any way. Shuma, I'm gonna give a 1. I think Shuma has had plenty of time in the limelight. Like, Shuma at this point has been in more Marvel vs. Capcom games than, like, Strider. So, I think Shuma's like, you had your good time, man. We're done. I'm done looking at Shuma Garath. Considering that I barely have an understanding of where he is from anyway. Thanos is already in it. War Machine, I'm gonna give like a 1. I do not see the need to have an Iron Man and War Machine combo anymore. I think one Iron Man is enough. So War Machine is a very low priority on my end. Wolverine! I'm gonna give a 4. I mean, Wolverine is in friggin' everything, so that's why he's not a 5. I'm not super bummed out that Wolverine isn't an Infinite. It's just really weird that he's not an Infinite, so I'm actually going to give him a 4 because I do want him to come back. Of course, Wolverine should be in this game. Like, of course. But I'm gonna give him a 4 just because, personally, I've been dealing with Wolverine bullshit in the Versus games forever, and it's just really weird not having him back, which is why he gets a 4. Still very high. Cyclops, same thing, a 4. Can be a really cool character if they do him right. And is just another representation of main character X-Men. It's Wolverine, and it's Cyclops. I feel the same about Wolverine and Cyclops, so let's just leave him at a 4. Amingo, I'm also gonna say a 4. You know what? No, I'm gonna say 4. Yeah. There's other characters I would definitely prefer over Amingo, but I love Amingo. I love him, which is why I'm gonna put him up very high. I'm gonna place him very high. Guile, I'm gonna put him at like a 2. I don't think Guile really needs to be in the Versus games. I think he was a cute addition to this one because it's his, like, alpha sprite. But, you know, I think, I wouldn't be upset if Guile is in it, but I wouldn't be specifically happy. Dan. I'd say Dan gets a 3. Dan's right in the middle. I'm not a huge Dan Hibiki fan, but I know a ton of people just love Dan. Like, for some reason, anytime a video goes up on my channel that has Dan in it, it always does really well, and it's bizarre. And there's just a really crazy fandom there is for Dan Hibiki as a character, so... For me personally, I give him a 3 just because I'd love to see how they make him trash. I would love to see what they would do to, like, make him totally super whack. Ken, I'm gonna give... Man, this is tough. It's either gonna be a 4 or a 5. I'd say like 4 or a 5. I really like Ken's playstyle in the Versus games. There's a stipulation. If it is Street Fighter V Ken, it goes down to a fucking 1. I do not want that version of Ken. If they fix his face, if they make him look all beautiful like he does right here, then maybe. If they make him look like Story Mode Ken from Street Fighter V, maybe. But I would just love to see Ken's playstyle once again in one of these games. I want to rush down Ash Shoto. And Ryu is actually fairly interesting in MVCI right now, so I'd love to see what they do with Ken. Boletta, I also give a 4. I love her. I think she's a great representation from Darkstalkers, and has really cool supers where she brings out all these giant dudes and really animated character. I would absolutely like to see Boletta come back. Sansan, probably a 1. I always forget this character's even in the game. Let's give her a 1. Ryu's already back. Adamantium Wolverine, fuck it. Psylocke, 5. I'm giving Psylocke a 5. Would love her to come back. I want to do sick-ass Psylocke combos. I want to see her just do sick shit in 3D. There's never been a really awesome 3D Psylocke. I think she was in, like, the Deadpool game, but that game didn't look great, you know? I'd love to see Capcom animate Psylocke again. 5. 5 out of 5. Silver Samurai, neat character, really obscure now, so I give him like a 3. Because he's got cool playstyles, he can like make the sword turn into different things, like fire sword, electric sword, everything like that. I'd give Silver Samurai like a 3, but I'm not super attached to him. Same thing with Sabretooth, I'd give him like a 3, he's kind of an old school character now. People don't even recognize this version of Silver Samurai and Sabretooth anymore, they know him from like the movies and shit. So, yeah, I'm gonna say Sabretooth gets a 3. He could be interesting, he could be really interesting. I would like a very aggro, big buff version of Wolverine, again. Blackheart, I would say a 4. I'd say change his playstyle, though. Make him not just dash and chuck demons. But I think he's an awesome-looking character. I think if he's preserved looking this way in Marvel Infinite, goddamn, that would be so sick. To have, like, a giant character next to Dormammu. Blackheart versus Dormammu, like, dude, come on. Let's go. I'd really like to see Blackheart. Gambit, 5. 5. One of the coolest characters in all of Marvel Comics. Straight up, is fun as hell to play in all these games. He's just a 5. Like, it doesn't matter what you think, he's a 5, alright? Gambit's got it. Please. Jesus. Iceman, I'd give like a 2. He was always a very limited character in the classic games. I give him like a 2. Not much to say on Iceman, he's Iceman. You know, he is what he is. Cable, I'd give like a 4. I would really like to make Cable not just a keep-away character, though. Yeah, man, Cable would be very sick. I'd be very, very, very happy with Cable showing up in Marvel Infinite. I think a lot of people would be very happy. Probably between a 4 or a 5. Cable's just a very sick character. He's cool as fuck, man. He's a time-traveling dude with guns. Ruby, I'm gonna give also somewhere between a 4 and a 5. I think she's a great, probably the best original character they ever made for Marvel vs. Capcom, even though there's only like a couple. There's like a Mingo, Sansan, and like Ruby. So, yeah, she's easily the best one of all of them. So I'd say Ruby gets a bit higher than a Mingo. I'd be very happy if she showed up in Infinite. Geef, I want to see show up. I actually do. I'd give Geef like a 3 because I think Geef versus Hagar would be awesome. Like, how that has not happened yet is really weird to me. So, I would very, 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 very much like Geef to show up again. I'm gonna give him like a 3. I would like that to happen. That would make me happy. I don't know how much I'd play him, I just want to see Geef and Hagar fight each other. I'm gonna give Akuma like a 5, alright? And some of you guys might not agree with me, but this guy has been in more versus games, or just the same amount of versus games as Ryu. So, the fact that Akuma isn't, technically, is really weird, man. Like, Akuma is a big part of the Versus series, and is always super fun in every single Versus game he's in. So I want Akuma back, I do. Like, I really want him back. I want him to have, like... MVCI already showed the fact that they have extra costumes for characters and stuff. Dude, just if Akuma had like an Oni costume or something like that, that'd be sick, right? Ryu got an evil Ryu, give Akuma an Oni extra costume, and you'll sell 1 million copies. Right off, right, just do it. 5. I give Charlie a 3. I think he's cool. But it's same thing as Guile, it's like he's just, I give him like a 2, actually. I wouldn't want Charlie and Guile to be in the same game. I think Street Fighter V Charlie, Nash could be kind of cool in SF5. I think his playstyle could actually, that would be pretty sick if he had all these like diving kick, sort of Sonic, different kind of special moves. I think that'd be dope. Dhalsim has always been really awkward in these games. I'm gonna give him like a 0. I think Dhalsim has always just been really weird. And it's his playstyle. Like, if his playstyle was just a bit better or changed in some way, it's crazy how many games Sim has been in. I'm gonna give him like a 0, man. I just don't. I'd prefer there to be other Street Fighter characters other than him. I prefer Bison over Dhalsim, in all honesty. Jin's a 5, in my opinion. I always have said that it always upset me that Jin wasn't in Marvel 3, because thinking of Jin piloting Blodia in Marvel 3 could be super sick. Like, this guy, like, using a robot as a weapon during supers would just be fucking awesome. And just imagining that be that way with him being such a cool, hype-ass character is just... I'd be really happy with that, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna give Jin like a 5. Anacharis, I'm gonna give like a 2. Simply because I think there's a lot of other Darkstalkers characters I'd prefer over Anacharis. John Talbane is a heavily requested one. I'd also prefer Donovan in general. I think Anacharis is like Dhalsim, they're very weird characters. Like, I'm gonna give him like a 2 or a 1, maybe. If he came back, I think it'd be interesting, but I would definitely prefer others. Hayato's an interesting one, because I've only played him in this game where he's, like, not great. Just in terms of, like, character design, I want to say between a 4 and a 5. Like, I want him back. Yeah, I'm gonna give him a 5. I'm gonna give Hayatou a 5. Bring Hayatou back to have a proper representation of the character's gameplay. Like, let's just make Hayatou at least mid-tier. Let's make him at least mid to high tier. Give him some combos that actually work. Make his sword loops actually good. Like, let's bring Hayatou back. Because he is epitome, he is the Gambit on the Capcom side, in my opinion. Just a super sick as fuck dude. So, yeah, I was gonna say 4, I'm changing that to 5. I like Hayatou way too much. Captain America, already in the game. Spider-Man, already in the game. Juggernaut. I'm gonna give Juggernaut a 3, maybe somewhere between a 3 and a 4. I think we need a big, heavy hitter that's not Hulk. I think it would be nice to have a giant, heavy-hitting guy that is not specifically just the green dude. Like, and Juggernaut's got some interesting things where he can gain super armor by things. He used to actually have, like, the Aganos thing, and it's funny because Aganos technically took it from him, where he can grab things off of the street and the ground, like giant steel beams and stuff, and whack you with it. If they did things like that, if they Aganosed, like really Aganosed Juggernaut in some way, I think that'd be sick. I think that'd be super sick. Yeah, there is Nemesis, that's true. I keep forgetting that Nemesis is even in Marvel Infinite, like, no shit. No shit. I would prefer Juggernaut over Nemesis. Because I think the Resident Evil villain should have been Wesker anyway. Spiral, I'd give maybe a 2. Interesting character, very 90s character, but her playstyle's unique, summoning swords and, like, throwing them at you, but, I was never just a big fan of the character in general. Never a big fan of her gameplay. I'm gonna give her, like, a 2. If she came back, I'd be like, I guess. She's very, yeah, she's one of those Mojo, I think she was, one of Mojo's minions back in X-Men. Bison, I would honestly give, like, a 3 or 4. Because I feel that if there is eventually a time where Marvel Infinite has an X-Men vs. Street Fighter pack that comes out, we can have the same scene where you have, like, you know, Ryu and you have Cyclops where they'd shake the hands of each other in X-Men vs. Street Fighter. I just want to see, instead of those two, instead of the good guys shaking hands and coming together, it's the fucking bad guys shaking hands coming together to beat the shit out of the good guys. So you can have Magneto and Bison shaking hands in the marketing and stuff. How sick would that be for Marvel Infinite? It'd make a lot of people happy. I think just based on that alone, I'd probably give him like a 4. I think Bison would be sick. I think Bison would be hella sick in Marvel Infinite, man. We don't need to talk about Morrigan. Sakura, I give like a 3. Shoto Girl, give her like a 3. She's never been super interesting in any of these games either. So, yeah, I don't know. I would, it'd be neat. I'd play her, that's for sure. T-Bone, I'm gonna say like a 2, man. Her model is already done. There's a good chance he's gonna show up in the game anyway. But Tron is like one of the weirder representations that they chose. Like, at the time, they took a Mega Man Legends character. I think I'm good. Like, I think Tron has been in enough versus games where I'm just like... And I play her. Like, she's one of my mains in this game. I play her. I actually like her a lot. but I'd prefer other characters. I'd give her like a 2. Like a 2. Let's just get rid of Dr. Doom. He's a 0. I mean, no one actually likes Doom. Everyone says they like Doom, but everyone just likes a foot dive, so we're gonna leave Dr. Doom at a 0, because he's just a function of a foot dive, and no one really actually likes this character. Like, he just does combos. That's all he does. So yeah, Doom's a 5. Venom is a 5. I really want Venom to be an infinite. I hope the leaks are true that he is an infinite. I think he's a sick-looking character. I love the fact he looks like a xenomorph. He looks like he came straight out of the 90s. He's Todd McFarlane's love child. I want Venom to come back. I really want Venom to be an infinite, man. I think that game will look a lot sicker if Venom is running around doing crazy, disgusting symbiote shit. Like, that'll make me very happy. I also, the only time I ever run Spider-Man is if Venom is in the same game. So, I would love to play a Spider-Man and Venom in the same game. That'd be good. We are Venom. I'm giving him a 5. Magneto's obviously also... For me, personally... You know what? Magneto's a 5 because of reasons. Just because it's fucking Magneto. He's a 5. For me, personally, I don't play Magneto in any of the Versus games. I never have. So for me personally, it's a 3, but I understand the pantheon of things. The importance of Magneto showing up in a Marvel vs. Capcom game is a 5. Like, it is really important. So just based on that alone, he's a 3 personally, but I'd say critically, he's a 5. Like, bring him back. Just bring him back to show people that you care enough to bring him back, you know what I mean? Colossus is like a 2. Interesting, another heavy hitter. He's a heavy hitter next to, like, Juggernaut in this game. He's an interesting choice. I wouldn't be jazzed if he came back, but I would be like, yeah, I'll play him. Yeah, that's cool. He's interesting. Cammy is actually super fun in all the Versus games. I'd give her like a 3 or a 4. I give her somewhere between a 3 or 4, I think. I can't say I really want her, but I'd be happy if she was in. I would be very happy if Cammy made it back. It'd be sick if it was her Delta Red costume. Like, oh, I'm sorry, her Killer Bee costume, which is this one. I would love that. It'd be neat if she had her Alpha outfit, if she just wasn't straight from Street Fighter V. Yeah, I'd give Cammy like a 4. Like, I'm gonna say closer to a 4. I think she's dope. And the game already needs more female characters, so why the hell isn't Cammy there? Yeah, what? Let's just do it. I know she wasn't in Marvel 3, but come on. Come on, man. Strider, we already know he's great. I would personally give Stars Jill a 5. Stars Jill is way more interesting and way more fun of a character than the really complicated version of Jill, Battlesuit Jill they did in Marvel 3. It was just so hard to be good with Battlesuit Jill in Marvel 3, like they overcomplicated the shit out of her. She does look really cool doing a lot of this stuff, and in all honesty, like, the way Battlesuit Jill is represented is so similar to RE5 that it's ridiculous. Like, they did a really good job. But let's just bring back the functions that they gave Frank. Let's have Jill chuck zombies. Let's have Jill bring out the different guns, the grenade launchers. Let's make all that shit really good, dude. Let's have her use herbs. Let's have her throw herbs to friends and... Oh my god, just give us some classic Resident Evil representation and not this new horseshit Resident Evil. And even if it was new horseshit Resident Evil, even if it was Jack Baker, I'd be super happy with that. Like, Jack would be like a 5 in my opinion. But either way, super classic or super new. Just no more RE5 and RE6. I'm done with that shit. The only one I want back from that stuff is Wesker. Just Wesker. Ah, Rogue. Rogue gets a 5. I don't know why her base costume is this color. I wonder if her costume in the comics changed at the time as well. Because she's not wearing green and yellow. I'd give Rogue a 5. Yeah, Rogue was my early childhood waifu. When I was watching X-Men and stuff, she was my favorite female character of the X-Men. I was never really good with her in the games because she's kind of like a wonky box dash character. But in terms of just, once again, another sick-ass female character, let's do Rogue. Like, she's badass, she's like Psylocke, they're both badass female characters that kick the shit out of you. Kissy kissy, gimme your power. That could be sick. That'd be really sick to get something like that in Infinite. These two guys are in everything. I'm gonna say a 0. I'm gonna give Surfbot a 0. I'd be very happy if Surfbot just didn't come back. Like, if you put Surfbot in over someone like Asura, straight angry. Straight anger. Actual anger. Human tears. Let's not make that, don't make that a reality, Capcom. Asura over Surfbot. I'm giving him a 0 and I'm being generous, okay? 0. Mark it 0. I give Roll a 2. Like, they could bring back TVC Roll, which was actually kind of interesting with the sweeping and everything like that. I give Roll like a 2. I think she could be neat. It's just cute having her around. But Roll doesn't fit in a game where X exists. Like, I wouldn't mind Roll showing up if Mega Man shows up, though. I would like to run Mega Man and Roll in Marvel Infinite. I would. I don't think that'd be too bad. I'm gonna give her a 2. Chun's already back. She's looking better now, thank God. I'm gonna give, Omega Red. I'm gonna give, this is a very personal opinion, but I'm giving Omega Red a 5. A 5. Simply because he has a unique playstyle, he's a more interesting kind of version of Dhalsim, where he has stretchy limbs and everything like that. He's technically a command grapple character. There's just a lot of really cool shit that Omega Red does. I like his hunched over appearance, where he's just like, it looks like he's super feral like Wolverine, but instead of claws, he has this creepy hentai arm. Yeah, let's go with a 5 on Omega Red. I think he's dope, man. Give us a proper Russian. If you're not gonna put in Zangief, we need a Russian representative. I don't think the game has any Russians in there right now, and Omega Red's pretty dope, dude. More Weapon X stuff. The chance of it happening is very low, so that's why I'm gonna give him a 5. Okay, so this is difficult for me because I know Storm's importance in the Marvel vs. Capcom series, but fuck, do I hate fighting against her. Like, in every single game, I hate fighting against Storm. With that being said, I'm gonna give her a 4, because once again, Storm is a critical part of the Versus series. She's in a lot of the games. She is like the go-to female X-Men character. So I wouldn't be disappointed that Storm is in the game. It's just that I would never play her. I would just never play her. So me personally, it's like really low, like a 1. However, in terms of important for the Versus series and important for Marvel Infinite, it's like a 4. I think it's really... I think it'd be important that she came back, you know? She represents a good part of Marvel. And this guy! This character is a love-or-hate relationship for a lot of people. I personally think Sentinel is one of the best-looking characters in Marvel 3. Just like the amount of shit that's moving on him and stuff, and the fact that the gears are all moving around and everything. And it's also like, it's the fucking robot, man. Like, God bless the robot. I think Sentinel for me is like a 4. I'd be really happy if Sentinel was in there. I don't play a lot of them in any of these games. I do play him probably the most in Marvel 2, but yeah, he represents once again another part of Marvel. He was brought into this game with Storm. I'm sorry, he was brought into Marvel 3 with Storm because they were such popular characters in Marvel 2. So Seth, when he was working at Capcom, kind of convinced the Marvel guys that you need to bring back Storm and Sentinel. Like, forget Green Goblin or forget Dr. Octopus, who was going to be in originally. They're like, put Storm and Sentinel in the game because that's your callback to Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Like, Magneto, Storm, and Sentinel were the big references to Marvel 2. So, I think it's a matter of legacy, and fun factor. Sentinel's always a fun character. He's always super fun. So, I give him like a 4. So there you have it. From the biggest roster of Marvel vs. Capcom to one of the newer rosters. You know what? I think I want to do this exact same thing when we get to Vanilla Marvel 3, because Vanilla Marvel 3 has a very interesting and different kind of diverse roster, where I can kind of rate the characters on importance of whether or not I want them to come back, because believe it or not, I'm not a big fan of Vanilla Marvel 3's roster. I actually don't like it very much. I think Marvel vs. Capcom 3 got a lot better when Ultimate came out, and not just for Strider, but for like a lot of reasons. The roster felt a lot better. So there you have it. That's my list of importance on each character that I would like to see it show up in Marvel Infinite.